Okay, so this is our study that was published in October in the Research Integrity and Peer Review. And as you see from the long title, it's about our switch from single-blind to double-blind peer review. And Peter Parmanen, the first author, was the main researcher, and there are these other. We were a team of 6. And next, please. And here are our conflicts of interest and actually affiliations to and funding. So Peter Parmanen used to work for the Finnish Medical Association, which publishes the Finnish Medical Journal. She's now moved forward. And I'm the co-editor-in-chief of the journal, and Noora Järvinen is an editorial assistant, and we had 2 editorial board members. So 5 of us 6 were very much involved with the journal. And it was partly funded by a grant from the Finnish Association for Scholarly Publishers. And this is about the journal. So it's a general medical journal published by the Finnish Medical Association in Finnish. And it's published as a journal published in national language. We are not indexed internationally. We don't have an impact factor. We annually publish about 120 peer-reviewed articles, original research, review articles, and case reports. And most of the reviews are commissioned, but all these manuscripts are externally peer-reviewed by at least 2 reviewers who are Finnish experts or Finnish speaking experts because of the language. And background, I guess we all who are here know the shortcomings of the single-blind peer review with a power imbalance and all kinds of biases. So the 2 alternatives to improve peer review is open peer review and double-blind peer review. And the worries about open peer review are if the risk that reviewers would more often decline to review. And I think this is a special case in small language areas with a limited pool of potential reviewers, as we have this situation. And that's why our choice was switch to double-blind peer review, which we did in September 2017. And these are the questions we wanted to explore. How the switch would affect the reviewers or the experts' willingness to review, and what kind of publication recommendation would they make, accept minor or major revision or rejection, and the quality of review reports. And our data comprises of reviews submitted between September 17 and February 18. And this awkward period is because there were other improvements in the journal. We changed our manuscript processing platform in March 18, so we could not continue the study further because the manuscripts after that or the reviews wouldn't be comparable. And for control, we chose 2 corresponding periods, 1 year and 2 years previously. So September 16 to February 17 and September 15 to February 16. And we included manuscripts with at least 2 first-round reviews. And from the double-blind peer review period, there were 118 reports of 59 manuscripts, and single-blind period, which was twice as long. It was 232 review reports with 116 manuscripts. But for the quality assessment, which was an kind of demanded more efforts, we, as comparison, we only had the later period. So the single blind peer review reports that were which quality was assessed was from what is it's well, it's the later comparison period that was used for that. Yeah, please. And this I want you to see look carefully, because this is the structure how the material was formed. So left is double blind and right is single blind flow, and we had 89 double manuscripts from the double blind period and 196 from single blind period. And because we wanted to have only have manuscripts with a thorough peer review, we excluded those which only had one peer review report. So these are the first exclusions, and some other exclusions were done also, and the reasons for if we saw that blinding was failed, and review was incomplete. It might have been that there was actually no report, or one of the reviewers was an associate editor for the journal. These were the other exclusion reasons, and so we ended up with those 59 manuscripts and 116, and then we went to the review reports. So we had 118 double-blinded review reports and 232 single-blinded. And for those, we explore the willingness to review and the recommendations. And to go even further to the review, please, Marie, come back.
No worries at all. I thought to go further was for me.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, but we went further with our study, and from the double-blinded period, we had to exclude at this point 2 reviews with no report, so no report for the quality assessment of report content, and then from the single-blind side, we excluded half. So those between September 15 and February 16, and so we had only those from the later single-blind period. And now you can go further with the slides. Thank you. And so how we did it was willingness to review was calculating the proportion of invitation that led to received review. That's simple. And recommendations, frequencies of accept as is, minor revision, etc. They were tested with chi-square test, and the intracerebral reliability was assessed with Fleisch's kappa reliability. Yeah, and we used the review quality instrument that was introduced. I guess the first publication was by the BMJ, 1999. So it will be seen later in more detail. It's a scale with 8 issues with a scale of 1 to 5, and it was originally designed for original research articles, so we had to modify it to apply also for review articles, which we have quite many. And not yet. And the review reports were assessed by two of our authors. They were independent from each other, and they were blinded to if they were single-blinded or double-blinded reports. Consistency of their scores was assessed, and the means of quality assessment were tested with the independent samples t-test, and frequencies of scorings 4 to 5, so the high scoring were tested with chi-square test. And now next, please. And here are the main results. So willingness did not change. Invitation success rates were single-blind from the single-blind periods 67%, and from double-blind periods 66%. So 3 or 3.1 invitation for a report to obtain 2 reports. These are high figures, and I think they are exceptionally high figures actually, but I think it's because the Finnish doctors, they kind of consider us as their own journal. I think that's why they are so eager and willing. But currently, we are going to the same direction as the rest of the world. So currently, our success rate is 46%. Yeah, and the publication recommendations, they became slightly more negative, which will be shown a little bit later. But the review quality improved. So overall quality was calculated from all the items of the review quality instrument, and the means were 3.38 versus 3.22. So the p-value is highly significant, but of course the size of the difference is not so big, but there's a difference, however. And frequencies of scorings 4 and 5 calculated together, where they were 55% and versus 49%, and significance is the same level. Next, please. And here are the recommendations and the distribution of the recommendations. So you can see that double-blinded reviewers, they less often recommended accept as is and minor revision, and more often major revision reject. And those p-values are kind of horizontal p-values on that p-value column. So the only significant difference was between the proportions of major revision, and that the p4 trend was 0.07, so didn't reach the usual significance level. Next, please. And here, sorry for the small text, here you can see the quality as review quality instrument and the modifications. So item 1 original is, did the reviewer discuss the importance of the research question? And we added topic of the review. And for item 3, did the reviewer identify the strengths and weaknesses of the method? So we thought that in review article, which are narrative reviews for us, closest would be closest to the methods of the original article would be literature search. And item 7, did the reviewer comment on the author's interpretation of the results or the literature? And other items were as they were. And And you see here the proportions of ratings 4 and 5, the 95% confidence intervals, and there are two. Actually, item 2, the difference reached the significance is quite high, which did the reader discuss originality of the manuscript? I was a bit surprised that this was the result, but however, that is the most significant result. And the overall proportion of these ratings you see at the bottom line, as was shown actually in the previous slide. Next, please. The study has several limitations. So the short study period, which was because of the change of the platform, so it resulted in relatively small material. But we wanted to have these comparison periods, the double of our study periods, to strengthen the results. And of course, blinding probably failed. The literature says that blinding may fail in half of the cases. We encouraged our reviewers to try to guess the authors, and they sometimes did it, and they sometimes guessed right and sometimes wrong. But unfortunately, we did not collect this information systematically, so we couldn't analyze any. I can't say anything certain. I have no data on this. But however, if the blinding failed, so if some reviews from the double prime period actually were reviewed, known the authors, this would actually dilute our findings. So it may be that in reality the difference between real double-blind peer review would be bigger than we observed. So about review quality instrument has limitations as a tool. It's solely assess the comment of the reviewers and can't say anything about the accuracy of those comments in relation to the actual manuscript. And we just modified the RQI, but we did not test the reliability and validity of the modifications. And we did not control for the quality of the manuscripts. So it may be also possible that Finnish authors during the years, they improved in writing manuscripts, and manuscripts from our later periods might have been better than previously, but we actually analyzed the differences between those two control periods, and there were no differences between them. So it kind of strengthens the results that there probably was not so much. It strengthens the idea that these periods are actually comparable. And I think we are now approaching the last slide. That's right, our conclusions. The reviewers' willingness to review did not change. But their publication recommendations, they became slightly more negative. And the quality of the review reports improved. So these are actually the results that made me as a co-editor-in-chief of this journal very happy. It supports that the change, well, at least the change wasn't for the bad. These were nice results to us. And my conclusion is that double-blind peer review seems to be a feasible method to a journal in a small language area. However, it would be interesting to test or explore how how open peer review would work in the Finnish Medical Journal, but we have not done that. So that was all. I thank you for your attention, and I'm open for discussion.